Hi everyone, welcome to Aptera Owners Club. I saw this article yesterday and it made me want to decide to do this video about the how good of an idea investing in Aptera would be. So this is an article from yesterday. It said Rivian is reported to have filed for an IPO at a shocking valuation level. Supposedly, Rivian has decided to file for an IPO at a valuation of $80 billion. So that's an $80 billion market cap. And they're saying that this is higher than the caps for NIO, Fisker, Canoo, Workhorse, and Lordstown Motors combined. Okay, so I thought I would kind of go over these companies a little bit, look at the valuations, and see where you think maybe Aptera would end up valuation-wise if and when it hits the market. Of course, this is just total speculation on my part. It's just totally my opinion, and I'm not a financial analyst or anything, so, you know, take it for what it's worth. Everyone knows Rivian is the company that's making the trucks, and they're partnered with Amazon and Ford, and their trucks are basically um, almost done, and they're probably going to start deliveries pretty soon. Um, and the truck market is a big market, and it seems like they think that they're going to get a $80 billion valuation. Just as a reminder, let's look at what Aptera's current at at what you can invest at Aptera today.
To give you the progression, our first WeFunder round was a maximum valuation cap of 20 million, and then it was 40 million, and then the last round at $3.80 was 200 million, and now the current round at $8.80 is roughly 500 million. All those numbers are rough.
Okay, so currently you can invest at Aptera at a market valuation of $500 million. So you would have to think that when it hit the market, it would be above that in order to invest now. So Rivian is thinking they're 80 billion, which is insane. And then there's another company called Lucid Motors, and their market cap is 35 billion. So if let's say that Aptera stabilized at the market at 5 billion market cap, that would be a tenfold increase over its current valuation. So if you bought in now, you would probably make 10 times your money if it reached a um, 5 billion valuation. If it reached 50 billion valuation, which is somewhere between Lucid Motors and Rivian's alleged IPO, you would get 100 times your current investment. So as you guys know, probably Lucid Air is this company that's, in my mind, it's basically a company that's trying to be Tesla, and their cars look very much like Teslas, and they're very similar in spec, and I'm not sure why anyone would buy this other than if you wanted to buy a Tesla and you just didn't want to buy a Tesla. You want to buy something like a Tesla, but you just want it to be different and buy something different. Now, I think it's a beautiful car. I mean, I wouldn't mind having one, obviously, but not too many people have $70,000 hanging around, and that's the starting price. It goes up to $161,000. So this is not a mass market car, and I hope they succeed. But their valuation is 35 billion. So if Aptera gets even remotely close to that, um, you would do pretty well investing in them. Now, I don't think the market for Aptera is nearly as big as the market for sedans like this, so I don't expect that it would be the same. Workhorse Group makes delivery trucks, and their valuation is $1 billion. But they've been having problems. If you look at these analyses at Seeking Alpha, prepare for the worst, not out of the race yet, flawed vehicle design likely to cause debt issues, Q results were terrible, all hope is lost. I mean, it sounds terrible. They're not doing well. But despite them not doing well, they have a $1 billion valuation. Nikola Corporation is a company that's making like giant trucks, like semi trucks. So kind of like the Tesla semi. Their CEO actually was indicted or charged with 3 counts of criminal fraud, basically because he just lied to everyone about all parts of his business. And despite that, I think Nikola has a valuation of like market cap of like $4 billion. So despite them not having a product that they essentially lied about on every aspect, um, they still have a valuation of about $4 billion. Now, Lordstown Motor is another truck company, and they build a good-looking truck here. And but I don't know why anyone would buy this. So this truck is not available. They haven't made any deliveries. This is what they presume that they're going to deliver. They do use the four hub motors from Elafe like the Aptera does, so kind of similar technology in terms of their motor technology. Obviously, they're not trying to build theirs for efficiency. They're making a work truck, and the truck market is a big market. But I'm not sure why anyone would buy this over either the Ford Lightning, which is a truck from an established maker with a track record, or the Cybertruck, or Rivian. Rivian is probably the most established truck maker of of these electric of the new brand of these electric trucks. They're probably the most well known of the startup electric truck makers. So I mean, if you were looking at buying an electric truck, you'd probably look at either the Ford Lightning. That'd probably be your number one for most people. And then if you didn't mind the look of the Cybertruck, that would be from another established automaker. And then Rivian, and this Lordstown's probably like number four. So they have a lot of competition. So I'm not sure how successful they'll be, but they still have a valuation of about 2 billion market cap. And then Canoe has a market cap of also around 2 billion, and they have this kind of this quirky looking vehicle. I kind of looked into this for a while, thought it was a really nice concept, and was thinking about getting this the van model of this. Yeah, this car right here. I also have a reservation for a Cybertruck, and I'm probably not going to get that in favor of getting a hybrid Sienna. My car purchase in the future is going to be a hybrid Sienna, and the Aptera is the current thought. This is an interesting vehicle, but it's nowhere near production or anything, and they still have a market cap of about 2 billion. It's a very niche truck, I think. It looks a little weird, and so I don't know how many people are going to be buying this car. I wish them well. I did look at them and seriously thought about reserving that car as well. And then there's Fisker. They have a market cap of 4 billion. They have one car called the Fisker Ocean, which they hope to deliver in Q4 of 2022. We know that all of these delivery dates are highly optimistic, so I seriously doubt they hit Q4 of 2022, just like I highly doubt that Aptera is going to deliver in Q4 of 2021. But they have a market valuation of $4 billion. And then NIO is this Chinese car company. They're actually producing cars. They've been selling cars, so they're a recognized thing. They are losing money at the rate of about $700 million a year, $800 million a year. But they have a market cap of, I think, 20 some billion. Oh, 80 billion. Was it 80 billion? Let me see. What did they say? No, 61 billion. So, but they're actually a car company that's in production delivering cars. So there's definitely something to be said for that. And they have a lot of cars, so they might succeed as well. Um, but anyways, Aptera, if I think like realistically, if they did get IPO and got anywhere, if they went IPO right now, I bet their valuation would be over $1 billion. I'm guessing based on these other car companies that have more competition in their product line, and and they're not anywhere close to delivering cars either. So who is Aptera's competition? I think there's two. There's Lightyear. There's this company. They're making this kind of luxury solar car, but they're pricing there. It's for the European market only, and they're pricing it at 150,000 euros, which is like 175,000 dollars. So that is definitely not a mass market car. The the potential customer base for that car is very, very small. And then there's this kind of more interesting car called the Sono Sion, and that is a solar electric car. It's like it's tiny, kind of looks like a Honda Fit, has solar panels on the side, which is probably not the most optimum place to put solar panels. But anyways, that you get, I think they're saying you get like 20 miles per day, maybe 15 miles per day of solar charging. It is nice because it has, I think it seats 4 or 5, and it's like a Honda Fit. So it's probably a more utilitarian and more practical car if you wanted more seating and more cargo space. But in terms of pure efficiency, it can't compete with the Aptera. In terms of actual solar range, it can't compete with Aptera. Um, but it is a good price. It's like 30,000 US. And if they can actually deliver this car at this price point, I mean, it's all, the other thing is that the performance isn't great. It's like 0 to 60 in 9 seconds, compared to like 3.5 seconds for the Aptera. So, and definitely not as zippy or as efficient or as cool looking, in my opinion, as the Aptera. But if this were available in the United States, I would be seriously giving this a look too. So this is probably some serious competition for the Aptera. But I think, as a solar electric vehicle, probably not quite as practical, in terms of efficiency of solar panel use based on placement and just the efficiency of the drivetrain and its aerodynamics. But yeah, very interesting car. So yeah, looking at that, I would say, in my opinion, I think if it hit the market right now, it would be at least 1 billion. And if they're successful, potentially hit 5, 6 billion, maybe 10, if they delivered a car and was well taken up. Of course, I personally think it's awesome, and so I did invest in it. I invested in at the 200 million round, so I think I'm pretty safe unless they go bankrupt, which is definitely a possibility with any startup. So I think, investing in any startup like Aptera is kind of a high risk, high reward situation where, there is a decent chance that they go completely belly up and never deliver a vehicle, and then you're just out your investment. But also, I think there's a good chance that they're going to hit the market. And just after watching this investor Q&A with Chris Anthony, and they have recently hired a procurement and logistics person from Faraday Motors, and they have been working with Sandy Munro to make their car very manufacturable from the very beginning. From the very onset, they designed it for manufacturing. So I think they seem like they're really on top of it. So I think they're going to do well. And my guess, if I were to just guess right now, I would think that they're going to hit a valuation of like at least 5 billion, when they hit the market, and that would be great. But anyway, I hope this was helpful. You guys can, maybe you heard of some motor companies that you didn't know about in this video, and feel free to check them out. But if you're looking for like the most efficient electric vehicle, and for most people, we're driving it by ourselves. Most vehicles are driven by themselves, so commuter vehicle, kind of a weekend excursion vehicle, for 1 or 2 people. I think you just really can't top the Aptera. And their management team seems to be really transparent, really good, experienced on top of it, and it seems like they're making all the right moves. So I think they're going to be successful. I do think that they're going to be a little delayed, but that's kind of true for all of these companies. But I'm hoping that they will IPO next year, and my investment will do well. And I'm hoping that I get my car delivered next year, and I'll be able to do like in-person reviews of the car. That would be great. Thanks for watching. And if you decide to invest, there is an investment button on the Aptera website. And if you decide to order the Aptera, please use the link below to get $30 off of your reservation fee. Okay, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe.